Oh, mama, I'm in fear for your life from the long arm from the low.
Okay, thank you, Paul.
Yeah.
How you doing today, Paul?
I'm peachy, and the future is bright for Jeff and I, and
Yeah,
maybe not
I'm
so
not.
much next week.
Yeah, I'm not. Wait, I'm not wearing them. I'm not wearing them. I'm not going down to Miami, and I'm not feeling that great about the Patriots, even though they got a precarious ass win this week. Jeff, how are you doing over there with your shades
I'm
down
doing
sitting in hot
amazing.
Miami?
Doing
Okay.
amazing. I got my shades on tonight because the future is bright for Miami.
Yeah.
Wish I
Well,
could feel the same.
let me give you a little background on what's going to happen. Once you go through our sponsors first, and then we'll go from there.
Well, yeah, sure. So I'm Canned White Bread, by the way. You can catch me at Canned White Bread. And AFC East.org is our website. NAFCo.org is our parent organization's website. Cool deal there. West PA Systems, a 21st century electrical build contractor. You can check them out at their website. Major sponsors for us, as well as Ma Media Works. They make movies. Check them out. And perryfilm.com, your one-stop shop for all your Perry needs. And Ireland Professional Services, your one-stop shop for all of Paul's sister company's needs. What's up there, Paul? Do you want to talk about them at all?
They're fantastic and wonderful, and they are in real estate and everything else, and they're wonderful people. I love my sister and my brother-in-law.
Thank you
Oh,
very much for
I,
your sponsorship.
I love your sister and brother-in-law too, Paul.
Oh, me as well. She was very helpful when she was up at Rock and Reel. That was put on by NAFCo, by the way. Actually, is where I met her. Actually, at a NAFCO event. So
yeah.
that's cool.
Okay.
She was very supportive of the organization. Thank you very much, Robin from Ireland Professional Services. Oh my
Okay.
God, Construction Brothers. What a mess they create. Red meat. It's good to eat. I just actually got a steak at
Still
Palumbo.
do the red meat.
We gotta get Palumbo's to sponsor us. That's
Still
who
do
we
the
should
red
get.
meat.
Okay.
Week two. Week two. Well, you wanted to say something before we got into week two, I think, Paul. Right?
No, I want to do the setup basically for the next week, but I think you want to go through that first.
Well, I
Yeah,
had
let-
that down here over at the beginning of week three, but do we want to just
let's
cover
go.
it now?
Let's cover
We
your.
might as
Let's
well
cover
talk
your
about
game.
what's going on. No, let's
Well,
talk
let's cover.
about it.
Cover your game. Cover your
We're
game.
not talking about it.
Cover the Jets. Then we'll go Dolphins. Then we'll go Bills. Go ahead.
Oh, we're gonna. So you want to cover? You don't want to cover this? What's on the screen? You want to cover? You want to cover week two? Let's just cover week two.
Let's just get into it. Yeah.
Okay. So week two. Let's flash some graphics now, and they're changing directions. Now we got week two. I actually have it in chronological order. We there, Jeff. I saw what your suggestion is, but we already okay. Week two, Miami at Baltimore.
Bro,
What
you're
the
gonna
hell?
put me. You're gonna put me on the spot first. Oh,
Yes.
why? Because it was the most amazing game all weekend.
It's a good time to. It's a good thing
It
to
was.
be talking
It was
about.
a good thing. Sunday afternoon was crazy. I'll just hit some of the highlights that I happened to catch, and I'll tell you why I missed the rest of them. But how about Baltimore runs the ball back, opening kickoff for a touchdown? How demoralizing! Like what the hell? Our defense looked like shit. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I
it's
was like,
your, but that's your special teams looks like shit, not
that's what
your
I'm saying. That's true.
defense.
But
Okay,
still,
yeah,
it was
kick
terrible.
return.
And,
Okay.
and then Lamar Jackson's going off the whole first half. Did y'all watch the game? Did y'all watch all this craziness?
I did
I
not watch
So
that game. I was too busy.
watched-
The New England game was on the same time. I was relying on you to message me the details about this game, Jeff.
oh, this was crazy. So
I was
we're
in
down.
protest with a friend, so it's like
This was terrible. We looked like trash. I mean, we really did. We couldn't do a damn thing right. Okay, there's two halves of football, right? We're down 28-7 in the
There was-
third quarter
there was 3/4 of that, and somehow
of garbage.
yes.
Okay, but let me give you a little backstory before I tell you what actually came out happening. In the locker, or night before, actually, not in the locker room, the night before, our new coach said, I want to see you guys play under some adversity. Well, 21 points is a lot of adversity to overcome, right? Not many teams come back from 21 points down. Like the odd percentage, if you're up at halftime at home, like is probably 80 something percent at least. You know what I'm saying? So the Dolphin fans,
Hold on 1 second. There's a certain team in the Super Bowl that did that.
there is. Right.
Do you know that team who played Atlanta?
Yeah,
But it very,
I was saying that. That's what I kind of quipped earlier. I said, well, you didn't do it in the Super Bowl. I said it real
Right.
fast. You said that.
Yeah.
But the percentage is very low. You come back 21 points down, especially with only a quarter and a half left. Well, I don't know what this magic coach has to say or whatever. I've been on his side the whole time. I've been on Tua's side the whole time. I'm a homie. I'm a Dolphin fan. My Dolphin fans, I'm a Dolphin fan. Something happened, and we just said they actually have a play. Excuse the language. There's a play if you look it up. There's a play the Dolphins have called "fuck it." Fuck it.
Really?
It's a fuck it. It's called "fuck it."
Why?
We're down. We're gonna go for it. We're gonna just go for it. So we have two of the fastest wide receivers in the league. You just put them in position, catch the ball, yards after catch. That's where your money is. That's where your money is. You got two fast guys. Get him the ball. He ain't throwing the ball deep. But guess what? He did throw the ball deep. He threw the ball deep. He hit Gesicki. He hit Hill. He hit everybody.
I know.
Like it was an amazing comeback. Now I'm going to tell you this. I had to take a shower because I was going to get my pedicure on Sunday afternoon. I had a 4:30 appointment.
You actually got that pedicure.
So I'm in. Wait a minute, Paul. I'm in the shower and I come out and we scored 2 touchdowns. I had to like rewind the freaking game to see how the hell we scored 2 touchdowns in like 3 minutes. Freaking ridiculous. I'm like, oh my God, we're freaking tied now. Oh my God, we're fucking winning now. Like, what the hell happened? It was like it has to be among the greatest comebacks ever in all of football. It has to be.
Do you kiss your mom with your mouth? I swear to God.
My mama died, so it's okay.
It's a saying. It's a saying.
But it's the greatest. It has to be one of the greatest comebacks ever regular season. Has to be. It was awesome. It was just awesome. I was in a happy mood Sunday night. I was in a happy mood yesterday at work. I was in a happy mood watching the Bills win last night because now we get to go 2-0 against our rival. Like that is just what a storyline for 2022 NFL, especially AFC East football. Like that's that's the perfect matchup.
Jeff, do you think it's gonna be like the old days, like Kelly and Marino?
Hey man, you know what? Everyone was bagging on Tua and everything, and they're still bagging on him. ESPN bags on him. Keyshawn Johnson's bagging on him. But the people who saw what he did, 6 touchdowns in a game. 6 touchdowns in a game. Okay. I don't care if he doesn't throw the ball 60 yards like Allen.
Dude,
he manages the game. He was given the tools. They're 2-0. They're 2-0. I can't really complain about being 2-0 to start the season. I want to go 2-2 just to get through this little 4 week segment we have, and then our schedule gets a little bit lighter. We're 2-0. If we lose against you guys next week, it's okay. Miami Dolphin fans are riding high, sold out season tickets. It's a good time to be a Miami Dolphin fan, and everyone's excited. We're past all the BS,
hey, brother.
The owner and all that,
Okay, man. We got it. What's going on with New England, buddy?
New England was in Pittsburgh. And so there you go. I use them actually as our title card because, might as well draw on our Pittsburgh locals here, there, Paul. So Paul and I are actually closest to Pittsburgh as far as that where we're geographically located in our lives. But Jeff's the only one blessed enough to live near his team. And so Patriots are in town. I could not afford. So yeah, so still basically the same experience. I bet on the game actually for the first time. I put sports bets down at FanDuel, which that would be a great sponsor to get. Anyway, FanDuel, I ended up actually coming out on top by a whole $2.25 out of this whole thing, of net profit. And what paid off is the Damian Harris touchdown. Had an anytime touchdown on him, so cool deal. And then I got a push on the spread itself. So because the spread was up +3 to Pittsburgh actually by the beginning of the game.
Remember, I explained to you what a push was, right?
Yeah, I understood that. Yeah. So I called him. So I was in a pan. I was kind of like freaking out in the sense of I'm like, I won, and I was like, I thought I was supposed to win the bet because they won by 3. So I was like, okay. But that turns out if they win by 3, all right. So that means it's a push, so you just get your money back, and it's even Stevens. But the thing is, though, was like now I know that I have to root for 4-point wins if it's a +3 to actually win the bet. But hey, at least I got my money back, so whatever. It's like kind of a win, but kind of just a draw. Really, it's a draw.
Generally, when you bet with stuff, it's generally something called juice. And for people who are betting out there, when you bet with a bookie, it's definitely juice. That means you pay 10% of what you win.
We're giving the bookie advice. All right, yeah. Well, I'm talking about legal gambling, by the way.
My family. It's like,
I'm in the state of Pennsylvania. You can legally play on FanDuel.
Okay.
What else? And other ones.
Okay.
But you're fine. It's the juice. I understand. The juice is the percentage that a place like FanDuel can take, or other places if you're going on the streets like Paul seems to for these things, because he's a dinosaur about this. And then but the thing is, so you're saying the percentage they take, but they don't seem to take that percentage on the push though.
Yes, they do.
Oh, because they actually gave me back my full amount on that.
Well,
usually they take a percentage back, so you actually push and then lose a little.
If you push, you lose. If you lose, you lose. If you win, you win. I mean, they always get their piece.
And then they even take a little piece off the win. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, apparently on the legal ones, they're just doing the. I don't know. I'll see how it goes when I'm not on a first time basis, because they also gave me back the amount. No, they gave it back to me in full. I don't know.
Brother?
I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. They gave it back to me in full. They gave me back the other one, but in the form of actually I put a bet on Henry getting a touchdown. I'll say this before you talk about. I'll take and they actually gave that back to me in the form of a credit for a bet, but not actually. Yeah. So it was interesting as an experience to try this out though.
Perry, did your team win?
Yes, so that's a great thing.
Okay.
So New England. So let's talk about that. They won by 3. Right, so they won by 3. Damian Harris got that touchdown, and Jacoby Myers lit the field up. I will tell you that. I was glad to have him on my fantasy team. We'll talk about the fantasy league later, but didn't save me. Spoiler alert. But the Jacoby Myers though had a breakout game. I have good thoughts on him right now. I think we are seeing some of the work that has been happening at the wide receiver position from Bill Belichick over the last 2 years starting to pay off, with some of this talent starting to really develop a little bit. I'm seeing some signs of that right now, at least. The Steelers have a decent secondary, and they were able to pass on them pretty handedly, and it was a very pleasing thing to watch the Patriots win again, because they haven't won since last year, being that they lost in week 1. So it's good to get that first win of the year out of the way, and then also, but they didn't do it in big style or anything. They weren't super flashy. A lot of not getting into the end zone, and a lot of tough third downs. I mean, there was a lot of periods where these teams were not able to really mount up drives, both teams. So that also shows good things for the New England defense itself. But it also showed, and I think Jalen Mills I will say this. That's one of the last players I want to really hype up today is Jalen Mills out of the cornerback position. Seems to be setting himself up to be potentially Bill Belichick's next elite wide receiver. I think Jonathan Jones is really going to set himself up to be that secondary guy and that slot guy. He's really the slot guy, and I think the over the top, the guy who can take on those number one elite wide receivers is Jalen Mills right now. And that was a guy that I've been watching since end of offseason last year. He was actually picked up from Baltimore on some kind of a weird preseason cut situation right after the draft. He was like a 4th-round draft pick. Bill got him cheap. Basically is how that happened. Didn't have to use that draft pick and got him when Baltimore dropped him right out of training camp. So out of his first training camp. So he's still rookie money, and so I think Jalen Mills might be that next Gilmore, that next. Well, Gilmore really wasn't a product of him, but that Ty Law, or next big time, cornerback. So,
right.
The
other good news is
you guys are sick of talking about Jalen Mills. So what?
The other good news is you found out who your offensive coordinator is finally.
Oh Jesus, yeah, Matt Patricia. Oh, Matt Patricia's calling the plays. Yeah. So basically, he's the one calling the plays. He's the he's the offensive coordinator. Now, surprisingly, really, the defensive coordinator pretty much is Stephen Belichick, Bill's son. Right. So it's weird. So it's listed as so Matt Patricia is particularly weird on his job title. It's senior advisor and offensive line coach that calls the plays. And then you have Bill, and then you have his son Stephen Belichick being the defensive linebackers coach that also calls defensive plays. So it's their coordinator position. He doesn't want it for some reason. I'm not sure what the magic is or what the hooded madman is thinking here, but he will not put a title on these traditional titles that are on every other team in the NFL. He won't do it right now. I don't know what the logic is, but that's what's happening.
Right. Well, his dog is a GM, right? So remember that. That's funny as hell.
Yeah, I think that's what you have. I mean, I guess if the dog's calling the shit there, I mean, if the dog's doing the titling.
Touchdown Miami, 3rd and 13. Tua Tagovailoa. Boom.
Yeah, good times, but of course this happened Sunday. Can you explain what you're actually doing and why it's now you're saying this?
My head is turned because I'm watching the replay on the NFL Network. This is the beginning of the comeback.
I see.
Jeff,
third quarter, 7 minutes. Jeff, no, we don't have company tonight.
Okay.
Oh my God. All right. Speaking of, Cleveland definitely had company over with the Jets that managed to eke one out over by 1 point.
Oh my God, that was amazing.
Thank you, Paul. I thought that was pretty nifty.
I like this for 2 reasons. I like the Jets winning because they're AFC East. Okay, first of all,
yeah,
and I love watching Cleveland lose for screwing over
watching the
Baker
poor cousin
Mayfield.
Win one. It's like watching the poor cousin get an iPod.
I like this. I like this.
Okay. All right, so we're good with the Jets.
Well, they got one, and I don't expect those kind of wins though. Once Watson comes back, is what I can say to that. Out of that, right. I don't think if you had a Watson-led Cleveland offense that you would have seen a win out of the Jets on that one. That's one.
I'm going to lean back in my chair because Paul's going to talk a bit about the Bills.
Yes, he is. Tennessee at Buffalo, and this was prime time Monday Night Football, and this is why we're on Tuesday, by the way, this week, because we wanted to let this play out.
This is why I'm also wearing sunglasses, because I was up late.
For the bright up late. Oh, that's why the sunglasses.
Yes.
If you're listening to us on a podcast, you can get a lot more out of the show if you tune in to our Facebook Live feed. The links are actually in the podcast description if you're listening to this on a podcasting app. I just wanted to mention that right there.
Okay. Well, let me go into it. Let me do the intro into it.
You got your time. Go ahead.
No, sorry.
Okay.
No.
Thanks, Paul.
Okay. Well,
I'm a wacky man. I'm so glad we have you.
all right. Shut up. You want to walk on my steps again when it rains?
Yeah. Thank you for the repairs there, Kimmy. Yeah. Good times.
Okay.
Oh.
Anyway.
Wrecking his steps with my back.
You feel all right, bud?
I'm actually. It was like a week of weird back shit, but it's fine now. It was just some little inflammation.
Get on with your game here. Come on.
Pick a finger.
We got Gramps over there just rocking that recliner.
No. Okay, you look at teams in the first 2 games of the year, and you try to see power rankings and things like that. Can you name? What's going on?
Hey, I think it was your head. Your mic went up.
No.
Let's see. Keep talking. I'm gonna.
You there? 1, 2. Better.
Yeah, I was able to isolate it. It's Jeff.
Okay.
It's Jeff. You got an echo going on.
Okay. Well. Tell me, Jeff. Jeff, shut up.
Basically what I did is I muted Jeff for the moment. Sorry, Jeff. Try work that out real quick. Give me a thumbs up if you think you did something to fix it. Oh, okay. He's like immediately like, I fixed it already, Perry.
So you didn't do anything.
We got it. It's doing it now. Yeah, because you won't hear it because it's on our end.
Okay. All right. Let me go through this. Tell me another team that played football at the beginning of this year that played the Super Bowl champs and the number 1 seed of the playoffs last year of the AFC. Tell me another team who had a harder 2 games.
What? Oh, you mean Buffalo? I mean, you're saying Buffalo has the heart. You're right. I mean, I guess you're right. Although Tennessee looks like they're much weaker this year than they were last year. I will say that they have not.
What have they lost?
They lost the last 2 games.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying
Tennessee showing themselves to be weak.
The schedule. Tell me a better team. Tell me another team has a tougher schedule than those 2 first games.
Really? I don't think anybody does necessarily. I don't think
All
so.
right.
I can't name one.
My role into that is basically that we scored point differential, 55 points more than those 2 games. We, it was what, 7 to, 41 yesterday. Then it was like 30 something to like whatever, nothing, 10. So we play the 2 toughest teams in the NFL starting out, and we beat the crap out of them. I mean, we embarrassed them on prime time. So I don't want to get into stats and crap like that. And we got banged up going into Miami. Thank you, asshole. But I'm just saying, there's nobody who can stand in their way. I don't see them losing a game this year because they are number 1 or 2 in every single stat, and I'm proud of them. I really am. I'm sure our buddy Nikki is happy about Diggs.
Oh, yeah. We'll talk about the fantasy league next. Well, do you want to talk about the fantasy league?
No. Let's just finish the game. Okay. Let's be crisp on this and all stuff.
Right.
But I'm not going to go and brag. But I have nothing else more to say. I mean, just everybody knows that they're the best team in football in the first 2 games of the year.
Okay, that's it. Now we got unmute Jeff because he's still got that echo shit going on. Yeah. Here, Jeff.
Josh Allen Diggs is awesome.
Yeah.
That actually worked, Paul. Echo.
Am I good or no?
No, you're not good. That's why we can just go yodel. Chico.
Let me log out and log in.
Mama wants some.
Okay, so Jeff is going to square that away. Yeah. Good times. Okay, so I don't know what he was going to say.
Good.
Wow. well, I guess hopefully he comes back with a little better audio situation. Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay. That's going to be something to put on a Facebook reel right there.
Mhm.
All right. Well, do you want to talk about the fantasy league? Because we can talk about this directly. Our game was against each other, by the way.
I know. And by the way, I lost because I had Henry, which only our defense held
No, you
him to
didn't
only
lose.
25 yards.
You did not lose.
Well, no, but he only ran 25 yards. Well, he got the touchdown. That's why only reason why. Yeah.
Yeah, Paul. I mean, just because one player. I mean, Henry racked up 8.5 points. I mean, so you weren't winning in the running back position, but you won overall.
Did I?
Yeah.
I don't know how to play this. Sorry.
Yeah. So okay. So you won overall 100. Okay. So let me tell you, you got 100.62. I got 73 even.
Okay.
I had awful.
That means-
73 is awful, and I didn't even have too much of a fuck up.
What does that mean? I don't know. What, you play for
so
points?
that's the collective points out. So I guess I guess you got to talk to a mathematician here. It's a performance evaluation of each player on a points-based system.
Yeah.
And there's various ways that a point can be collected, and like the highest point thing is a touchdown, for instance.
Gotcha.
Catches are worth 1 point, stuff like that. So if your player is involved with a catch, yardage gained, and touchdowns, you're credited point. That player's got a production value, and then so basically, each player's production value is added up to a total, but it's based on who you had in the lineup for that week, and so there you go, I guess. So
Well, how do you trade and stuff like that? Are we trading?
Yeah, you can trade. I mean, I did a drop at one point. I dropped one guy. I dropped somebody. I guess it was another team. I dropped somebody. I realized I didn't have any substitute tight end for George Kittle, so I dropped a running back I didn't really need to pick up Mike Gesicki in another league. So like you can wheel and deal some stuff, but that wasn't a trade. That was like a through free agency effectively, if that makes some sense. Like I did a drop and sign.
So what do I sit on my stuff or what?
Maybe I ought to come over to your place, man, and show you on your app how to actually kind of maneuver stuff. But you can maneuver the players around based on that week's news. For instance, Keenan Allen didn't play. You had Keenan Allen in, but he didn't play. So you want to move in guys.
Are you going to open up all my expensive mics?
All your expensive mics? I only opened up like one mic, or maybe 2 or 3. I don't know. I lost count completely.
It's open, not drink it. It's still sitting there, buddy.
Oh, thank you very much.
You're gonna drink it. You're gonna drink it.
We're gonna drink it. You should be putting that in refrigeration or something. Though. There's sugar.
No. I'm just saying. It's whatever. You opened it.
Well.
So, okay. Well, anyway, enough of that. What's wrong with Jeff?
Well, I don't know. His audio's messed up. I think he's trying to rejoin. Let's see if he's messaging me.
Okay.
Trying to get in, it says. Okay, thanks. I'll just tell him to keep
trying.
So,
what's going on with that? I mean, it's like, I don't know. Maybe he's so proud of his team sucks, but he still likes it. I don't know.
He's doing okay. The fantasy, but let's get let's. I'll talk about the fantasy thing. So I end up at 73 points. You got 100 points. So basically, so you win handedly. So you're 1-1. You're 1-1 now. I'm 0-2. And then and I can say,
Nikki?
Well, Nikki, another NAFCo member, she's 2-0 after being one of the team Hakes there. Yeah. Don't know who that sad Hake.
Mom, I'm not smoking cigarettes. I swear to God. Okay.
Jeff beat Jesse Pangalo there. So good for Jeff at 146. He was actually one of him and his friend Ryan Ayers out of Miami there. Ended up with the highest points of the week was actually Ryan. Jeff was kind of close at 146. Jesse got 127. Hudson Dave.
Who is Josh Allen?
Oh, I can take a quick gander and see. That would be. Oh, that's Jesse.
Okay.
Jesse has him. So,
Got you.
and he's the one
All
that
right.
goes by Pitt Stairway to 7.
Yeah.
So there you go. Which
Okay.
I thought, man, as a Pats guy, I could change my team to something like that. Because man, we're also looking for number 7. So Dave took his second win, and now putting Mike Gaffner, who makes some of our graphics and such, yet to be displayed so far today. It took a loss today, making him 1-1. And then you got Ryan beating the other team at Hake with 159.96,
Ooh,
just 4/10 short of 160. That's the highest
nice.
score this
Nice.
year so far. So there
Okay.
you go. Congrats, Ryan, on the top score of the year. And that's our coverage of that. Do you want anything going around the NFL, Paul? You said you had 4 pages of notes coming into this episode, so I
Well,
feel like you got something for around the NFL.
Around the NFL, I mean, Cleveland's tanking, Cincinnati's tanking, which was in the Super Bowl last year.
I know. I saw that. Their offensive. I watched that game actually, and or at least part like the end of that game between them and the Cowboys, and their offensive line was just crumbling completely. That's what sums it up. I mean, the rest of the team looks pretty built still, but the offensive line. I mean, it must have gotten gutted in the offseason. I haven't seen like a transaction history on their staff there, but the thing is, it was the O line's just definitely not a Super Bowl looking like AFC champions.
Indianapolis tanking. I mean, who they have? Can you name one person who's really good there on that team? I don't know.
DeForest Buckner.
Yeah,
that's my favorite Colt.
Okay, well, the Colts are diving. Who else?
Looks like Jeff might have figured out breaking news. Jeff has his audio figured out because I'm not hearing myself echo. Echo. Yeah, see, no echo. Cool. I like that, Jeff. Thank you for figuring your shit out. Good times. Wow, did we now see the light?
Oh, God.
And Paul said there will be light.
Hey, Jeff.
I didn't do anything different.
Well, just reconnecting. Did it? You had that issue last week after the show was over, by the way.
I think I just don't want to hear Paul's shit about the Bills, so I just kind of
okay, let's have an echo, and so that we have an excuse to leave.
Okay.
I don't have to feel bad about it.
Okay.
I'm going to hear his mouth next weekend for 3 days, so.
Well, we're going to spend a good 3 minutes on that shortly after we finish our football from last week. So,
what are you guys on around the NFL?
Yeah. You won your game, by the way, there on fantasy there.
Fantasy. It was really close because the girl I was playing against had Josh Allen last night. And I'm like, he's going to blow up and get really close to me.
There. Oh, so you might have mixed that up because Nikki used to be.
Okay.
Well, she steals 7s, okay, and that's that.
Okay.
So that is Nikki. That you were playing Jesse Pengali. He was one of my former.
Okay.
But he changed his name to Pitt Stairway to 7. So they're both Steelers fans, and so they both made the same 7 reference in there. I could make a 7 reference as a Pats fan just as much as they can. I mean, it's the only 2 franchises that can do that, but still, it's so anyway. I think maybe I'm gonna join into the crowd.
I mean, if I really wanted to go there, I could be like the only undefeated 72. I mean, if you really want to go.
Oh my God! Wow, what a dick.
Okay, guys.
You had less games. You had less games to do it in.
All right, guys. Let's move it on.
Okay. Any around the NFL to go on?
I've got one thing around the NFL. There's a referee now in the NFL did his first NFL game this past weekend, who used to be a professional player. Don't ask me his name because I lost my research. I sent you guys the little link to it. Played for 2 or 3 teams. Played for 7 years. Was a dentist.
7 years.
Yeah, was a
dentist after?
Became a dentist after.
Wouldn't it be kind of cool to have a dentist that's like, it's an NFL player.
But now he's an NFL referee. So that's my little around the NFL there.
Is he
All
like
right.
this jacked up dude, just like I'm here, like some defensive lineman that's just jacked, and it's just like I'm here to drill your mouth.
What happened to Evans in Tampa Bay?
Novocaine.
There's been guys who have been like doctors after the NFL career. Like, you imagine being worked on by an NFL like player.
Yeah,
Like,
well, that's what you said. Well, yeah, but I mean, a dentist is a doctor, so he is.
yeah,
a
but I mean,
doctor.
like I'm talking about like
MD,
doctors.
yeah.
Like,
I knew
yeah,
of a guy that was avoided the draft to go to Oxford. He had a full ride of. He had to pick between the draft or a full ride at Oxford for neuroscience. He was going to be a well, not neuroscientist, a neurosurgeon. Well,
Jeff,
yeah,
where's
no,
your glasses?
neuroscientist. Yeah.
Jeff, where's your glasses?
I had to take them off to figure out what I was doing.
Okay. Steve Young was also a lawyer. You guys know that, right?
Huh.
I believe
No,
it.
I did not know that, but that's kind of
he's
cool.
a lawyer. So
I believe it.
Huh.
Anyway,
did he ever shout legal jargon when he's at the line of scrimmage? Just like, case 47, versus
yeah,
kind of thing.
cool.
Like
That's
versus
funny.
New York.
Yeah. He's on the docket now again. We are.
Yeah, some weird shit like that.
That's a Creed reference. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I just say docket though.
So did y'all win your fantasy games or no?
I won. No. We played each other. Paul won. I had an abysmal game at 73 points.
Okay.
Paul, like this is kind of like.
How were our picks from last week? Because Perry, you were taking care of the picks for.
Oh yeah. So we got to actually do that as far as what games. You're right.
Damn freaking Jets.
You're right. So let's go over to the pick form. I gotta get the form out. So, all right. So week 2, you picked. So Paul picked Baltimore to win. Okay, so Paul gets the L there. Paul picked Baltimore to win. Perry, I picked Miami to win, so I get the W. And then Jeff picked Miami to win, so he gets the W there. Now, the next game, we got the Pitt and New England game. Paul picked Pitt, so he gets a loss. Perry picked
another
New England,
loss,
so he gets a
Paul,
win.
I'm seeing a.
Jeff picked Pitt, so he gets a loss.
Well,
all right. You also, and then in the New York game, New York versus Cleveland, I picked New York. Or no, I'll say no. Paul picked New York. Sorry, I'm going in an order. Paul picked New York. He gets a win. I picked Cleveland. I get a loss. Jeff picked New York with the win. Going into the next week, we all unanimously said Buffalo. It was his hands down. We all take the win. There you go. And so there's what you have. So the new record I'll enter it in is so Paul with 2 losses and 2 wins gets added to his total. So he gets 3 wins and 4 loss. Jeff now it went 2-1 on the week, so we will add that in there. So 2-1 on the week would be 3.
How can I be 2-1? There was 4 games.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, you're 3-1. Oh, okay, so we'll add that in. Yeah, you're right. Thank you for keeping it straight. So you're now. It looks like
in the lead.
Might be in the lead, yeah, at 4-4.
I think I might be.
Or are you 4?
I think he is.
4. Okay. No, 4-3. You're 4-3. Okay, yeah. So we only had 3 games in the last one. So okay, no, I'm doing it real quick.
You're tracking here, buddy.
Well, okay. Do you want to do all this form making? It's one of those deals. Okay. Okay, so next time I'll come in more prepared. I had a whole lot going on this week, so we'll come.
This is the computerized generation, Paul. Like me and you are pen and paper. Actually, you might be like more like a pencil still, but
No. I'm
WWLW.
so freaking old. I'm like, I don't know. I use a chisel and stone. So.
Right. You get like a little pocket notebook, like keeping track of your bets and everything. Like,
Jeff, you want to go to Lake Park with me and hang out for a little bit and see what's up?
I'll come down. Oh,
okay. So we have a firm.
Have you seen all my plaques I have in Lake Park?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, my plaques. It's like.
So guys, I have our new standings here. So Jeff is now the leader at 5-2. I am second place at 4-3, and Paul, you're coming in at third with 3-4 on our predictions here on the AFC East games.
So
and we do not do a special segment on Pittsburgh because they were playing an AFC East game this week in the New England Pittsburgh game, so we don't need to cover Pittsburgh.
I don't bet, by the way. I don't bet anymore on sport games. But damn, if I was 5-2 over the last 2 weeks, I wonder if I would have covered the spreads.
We play straight up, Jeff, so you know better than that. So
I know. And we do. I'm just saying if I did. But as soon as I put money out there, I'm going to lose. So that's just the way it is.
Well, since we just cover the picks, let's cover the picks for this week. You guys ready?
Well, let's do ours last. Let's cover the other 2 games first, and then let's go to ours.
All right. So we have what? What's New England playing?
Well, no. So, okay. Well, this is where, okay. So we'll talk about what we have here lineup. We got Buff at Miami is what I was going to have you guys talk about.
You want to go there first?
I was going to talk about Paul Goes Vice with Jeff in Miami and talk about that. That's actually what I had lined up.
That's the end. That's the very end. That's all right.
You want to talk about this stuff at the end?
Yeah.
Okay, Baltimore at New England. So New England gets its first home game this year, so that's great to see for the guys. Maybe that can provide some stability after 2 precarious games. Actually, they went 1-1 on the road trip here to start the season, but precarious is how I'll describe that road trip. Baltimore at New England. They're coming off a loss from Miami. They've already also an AFC East team this year. So I have some high hopes for New England because they've also historically really had Lamar Jackson's number. Quite frankly, during the Lamar Jackson era, they've had Baltimore's number. And historically, they've had Baltimore's number as a whole. But we're talking currently right now, the Jim Harbaugh, Lamar Jackson, Baltimore has not succeeded against New England. So what I say to that is, and Belichick knows the recipe to stop him, the spy. He basically becomes basically a spy. And the CBs drop way back. Everybody's zone and spy.
Okay,
and
for people who know, CBs means cornerback. That's the guys who chase the guys who are trying to catch.
Yeah, and spy means you are like looking around for the quarterback,
the guy running
time, basically.
Well,
and then we
talk about 11 formation and stuff like that. We're going to try and talk to people who are trying to listen to this and understand what we're talking about. So
true. Yeah, I'm just dumping off football terms there.
I know. We need to go and spell that out sometimes because we are a entertainment show.
Yeah, you're right.
So,
but yeah, damn, yeah. No, so you spy. Yeah. One guy. So usually linebackers just kind of drop back and they don't actually engage with the line of scrimmage. They're not really engaging with anybody. Any playmakers.
A linebacker is the guys.
Hey, just a real quick on the replay. It's 35-14 Baltimore over Miami with 14-14 left. This is how great this comeback was, just to let y'all know.
All right. Okay,
so let's go right into picks there. That's pretty much what I have to say for introing this game. Is Belichick understanding them? I have a lot of faith in New England. So I'm wearing it on my sleeve right now. I'm picking New England to win this week. Paul, what's your pick on this game?
I'll pick New England with you. Baltimore really looked awful.
They
collapsed, and their corners really suck. So. Really, they did.
Could be some good practice for Mac Jones.
Yeah, they have a lot of young. Baltimore has a lot of young corners, and really, to take them apart like that, oh my God.
Well, I guess they shouldn't have given up Jalen Mills at the beginning of last year because now Belichick's turning him into something. Just saying. Paul, Jeff, what's your take on this?
Okay, so knowing Belichick, he's got to watch 2 games. All right, so you know how he is.
Yeah.
You know he's watching this game from Sunday. Like he's probably watching this a dozen times.
Oh,
He's
God.
in a film room watching all this.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
He's like, I'm all over Baltimore now because I didn't watch the Dolphins do what they're gonna do. Now I don't think you guys have the speed and talent at the wide receiver position like we do. But I think the schemes that Belichick can do defensively against Lamar Jackson is going to keep you all in the game just enough that I'm actually going to pick you guys to win this game.
Yeah, Lamar is really sucking out this year. Okay.
So we're all going.
It wasn't so much Lamar. I mean, you had a kickoff return for a touchdown. There's a 7-0 lead. They had some other stuff like.
Okay.
But and I'm gonna stay in the AFC East. I'm gonna go for your team, Perry, because
wow, I'm honored. Everybody is.
I think that Belichick, and I really don't think Baltimore is all that because you take if you shut down Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, what else do they got? I mean, they have Washington, but yeah, I mean, like I said, I think Mills can cover that. There you go.
So what do we have next?
We got Cincinnati
Jets.
at Jets at New York. So Cincinnati has been kind of falling apart, quite frankly. I was talking with Paul earlier that when you were gone there, Jeff, the offensive line completely crumbling. I didn't realize that I forgot that since we were covering them. So they're completely crumbling on their offensive line. I watched the game with them against Dallas. Dallas managed to get that one, but it just, man, I mean, Cincinnati, it's their offensive line is their problem. So until they fix that, and the Jets are coming off a victory in Cleveland, which was a bad team, but now they have home field advantage. So I see this. I'm going to say myself right now, this is a Jets win. Is myself. So there's my pick right there.
Who's quarterbacking?
Falco.
You mean
Flacco?
Same thing.
Falco is actually one of the characters that Mom Media Works has in one of their films.
Okay.
Dana Falco.
So I follow Jets, Facebook pages and stuff too. They want Flacco out. They want White in, to give him a chance, whatever.
Oh, Mike White, which is not even Mike White. Yeah, the fan base loves Mike White because he had this explosive game last year. Yeah,
right.
They're still hanging on to that, dude. I listened to this one show. It's out in New York, and they for 6 months had this whole what would it be like to be Mike White song that they used to sing on there. And they did because the real quarterback is out, so Flacco's in. And everybody wants Zach Wilson. Okay. So Zach Wilson's the primary guy. Joe Flacco, former Super Bowl winner for Baltimore, but is second string, and Mike White's a third stringer. But the third stringer had an amazing game a year ago, and so now everybody wants to see him play. The thing is, they just won with Flacco, so I don't know. It's kind of weird to bring him out right now.
No, Flacco's in. He came back and he got 31 points. So that's what it is.
Yeah.
And he knows how to do it, and they're a half-built team, so they're pretty good.
Yep.
I'm going to go with the Jets too. So
New York.
I'm going Jets too. I'm going with the Jets. I'm going all agreeing. Man, I'm going with that. Yeah,
diversions can be good for these things, but okay.
What's funny is just think about the NFL is awesome. The Bills beat the Super Bowl champions, okay?
And
then they win. And the first team, right.
Seed,
so we talk about the draft, all these new players, all these cut players. So this is what the NFL is supposed to be, to where allow shitty teams, sorry about my French, to get players and actually do something. Now the Jets have momentum. They won a game. They know what it feels like to win a game. They want to win another game. They want to play against a team that was in the Super Bowl last year,
and they have a really good coach. So,
in the Jets home field. So I think the Jets might actually pull this out too. I think they might actually do it again.
Yeah. All right,
It'll be a tight AFC East like to start the season.
All right. Let's
guys,
put the best bed.
Let's talk real quick. No, let's talk real quick about Pitt at Cleveland. That's our Pittsburgh pick. Then let's get. Well, no. Wait, you want to not talk?
No.
Why? You want to get pushing for that a segment?
You're talking about the worst game of the week.
Pretty much, that's what I thought. But let's take a pick at least real quick. Let's cover this one real fast here. I think my thoughts are that Cleveland's at home. That's the only thing I can do as far as picking this one. I'm going to go Cleveland just because they're at home at that point.
Well, I'm going to agree with you because until they have JT back, they're not going to do anything. And their offensive line is horrible, and their quarterback is horrible. So I'm going with Cleveland too, just barely. It's like kissing your sister. I swear to God. I mean,
I'm going to go against y'all on this. I'm going to pick Pitt for a few reasons.
Thank goodness, because it does get old to have everybody picking the same thing.
And just to mix it up, but I'm going with Pitt because I think Pitt needs to win a game. I don't want Cleveland because how they screwed over their quarterback and all the controversy and whatnot. So I'm going with Pitt on this game.
All right, dude. All right, let's go to the big show.
Paul goes Vice with Miami, with Jeff in Miami.
Hey, show the graphic. Show the graphic I gave you. The club
a graphic?
And show me the graphic of the club seats and what we're going to.
You have to get the backstory.
There's no way to pull up. I don't know.
Oh, you can't pull it.
I sent you the club seats.
All right, we need that stuff way more advanced than like 20 minutes.
I'm gonna give a synopsis of this.
Well, okay, it was a couple hours.
So Paul is my best friend for many years. He's the Buffalo Bills fan. This is how we're doing this podcast together. He moved to PA. He's coming down next weekend. And we are going as the AFC East by NAFCo live down in Miami Stadium. I don't even know what it's called now. It's Hard Rock or whatever.
Yes.
We're going down there. We're going full gear, loving each other, but hating our teams against each other. And we're 2-0, and it's going to be a freaking awesome rocking time.
Jeff, can Tracy still drive?
Yeah. She ain't coming down there for us.
No, I'm just saying. She drove last time we were together.
There you go. Here you go, Paul. Yeah, at your request, I got the page.
Okay.
So this is what you guys are looking forward to, I guess. Yeah. It seems like it's pretty tight there, man. Well, this is officially MiamiDolphins.com.
Yeah.
The club level. So you're in the club level.
Yeah, we're in the club.
Wow, this is pretty spiffy. Pretty spiffy, guys.
Pretty spiffy.
The club offers
bring your sunglasses and your sunscreen because it's hot as shit down here, dude. Like for real.
Dude, it's air conditioned. Where we're sitting in air conditioned seats and it's covered. And it's supposed to be thunderstorms and rain for the game.
Oh, nice.
So we're covered and we have air conditioning.
So okay, so let me just recap. Like two years ago, we started this podcast. Yeah. And if people don't know, the last time Paul and I went to a Buffalo Bills game, he brought a chick, I brought a wife. This is how many years ago that was. I've been divorced for 12 years now. Buffalo was blowing out Miami, but we did tailgate. We found out you can tailgate after a game for 2 hours. We found that out.
You have to know your parameters, buddy.
And don't bring a girl who wants to walk around the stadium and not watch the game.
Yeah, that's my bad.
So we're gonna watch the game from the club level. I have my friend Ian. I don't know if he's watching or not, but I found out a place to tailgate, Paul.
Okay.
Another podcast guy. He loves what we do. I love what he does. I watch his cast. just to meet up some other like podcasters and whatnot, have a good time, talk shit, whatever, have a beer, and it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be a good time again. We have a good weekend. And
I told you, here's the plan. We're going to take the tri-rail down. We'll Uber to the stadium. Then we'll go ahead and, I don't know, I'll grab a couple subs in case things are not so free-ish up in the club.
I'm thinking pub subs for a Dolphin game, and that's a South Florida tradition. Like,
well, no, I think public subs.
High-end. Yeah. Oh, it doesn't look like it's free-ish. I mean, it says high-end food and beverage options.
That's the level. That's the level. That's the level. That's the level.
I don't know. But they also read in something else that they have free eats and free drinks. So that's pretty cool. And parking special, but we're not going to do that. We're not going to screw with that. So we're just going to go down on tri-rail. So
yeah, that's a good idea if you're worried about drinks and stuff at this game the way you seem to be.
As long as you can leave. I mean, it's sort of like Hotel California.
So yes, exactly. But don't try to leave by car. That's
okay. Paul,
drinking at the
games. Let's do this like non-monetary bet. How many fights in the stands are we going to see at this game?
Well, I'm wearing no. Bills are pretty cool. I mean,
what? The Bill Mafia comes to Miami because of the weather. You guys are going to be way outnumbered us.
But however, you understand it's going to be raining and thunderstorms, so we're undercover. So we're like undercover, like Miami Vice.
Well, the good thing is we're both on the opposite team, so no matter who wins. Yeah. If someone starts kicking my ass, you're going to protect me. If we start kicking your ass, I'm going to protect you. We're going to go at it as the odd couple, like a Buffalo Bills fan and a Dolphins fan. No one's kicking anyone's ass. We're walking out, shaking hands afterwards until Monday night when the podcast comes on. I get to, or you get to talk shit on me. Either way.
No. Guys, everybody, we're going to do a little podcast pregame before we do it. And then we'll do some snaps and photos for our website, whatever, during the game. And then we're going to go do our podcast when we get back Monday. So
maybe Perry can like throw those up during the podcast on Monday night, like little snapshots.
No, it's going to be fun. So it'll be good.
It's going to be fun. Miss you, bud.
Well, yeah. It would be nice to be to come, but cannot afford. So this please sponsor our show. So maybe I'll have a spare $1 once in a while.
Well,
I'm talking
Ireland.
We didn't.
We like to thank
Raid Shadow Legends.
We like to thank Ireland Services for the sponsorship for our NAFCo broadcast.
Yes, Ireland Professional Services. Helpful people.
Yeah. We have to get. There's only 3 of us, and 2 of us are playing each other. So we got to make some picks here.
Well, yeah. So we got Buffalo at Miami. Well, let's make the picks. I mean, I think I'm going to go Buffalo myself here because they seem like they're just going to storm roll over everybody right now. So Buffalo, that's what Perry's pick is going into this. Now you two.
I mean, I think the picks are obvious.
Lines?
I think the picks are obvious.
Nobody's going to cross lines? Okay.
I can't pick against the Dolphins. I'm going down as a Dolphin fan. Okay. He can't pick. He can't pick against Buffalo. He's going. The greatest, the best part about this story is it's 2-0, 2-0. You know what I'm saying,
Jeff?
There you go. Yeah, you're right.
That's the best part. You're gonna have a clear division leader after Sunday afternoon.
Jeff, I'm nervous about the fact that we're missing 4 secondary people, and they're all hurt. And our best one is hurt. And you got Waddle, and you got Hill. So who's going to chase him but people off our practice squad? I'm just telling you.
I watched your game last night.
Those practice squad.
Diggs and Allen, you guys can put up some points.
Well, I'm just saying,
what is our defensive backs going to do? Our defensive backs, what are we going to do?
we're gonna suck wind. So it's like,
Oh,
yeah,
we're going to be on a track. It's a track. It's going to be a track meet. It's going to be a track meet game.
it will.
And
However,
I want to bring up just something from last week. Lamar Jackson said, because we beat Lamar Jackson last year. I think you guys remember on a Thursday night.
Yeah.
He said, okay, we have a solution. We have a solution this year on how we're going to approach Miami. Well, that worked for the first half. That worked for 3 quarters. And that was the offensive side. But once we got the ball enough times, by the way, it's 35-21 with 7:40 left. Once we made our halftime adjustments, it wasn't our defense. It wasn't them playing us. It was once we got the ball, we took every freaking advantage you could and went against their D-backs.
Okay.
It's gonna be a fun game. It's gonna be a fun game. It's gonna be it should be a flex game. It should be nationally televised. I wish the NFL would do this to where there are actually good matchups after 2 weeks. They wait till the end of the season. Hang on one sec. Because there's people who are Dolphin fans who aren't getting this game because they live in a shitty territory and they got to watch some bullshit game at 1:00. You know what I'm saying? This is the best game of the season so far.
Dude, I'm just saying, you want that. I want my drink schedule's so screwed up having nighttime games. I swear to God. it's like, it's horrible. Anyway, when you come see me on Saturday, and we go hang out at the beach and have steaks and stuff like that. Bring whoever you want. If there's a Sharice, okay, that's great. So just joking, sort of. All right, we'll have fun in South Florida, buddy.
It's gonna be fun. It's going to be a good time. I appreciate you coming down from Pennsylvania, taking me to my own home game.
Okay, man. No, I appreciate.
There's a Sharice.
Sharice.
Okay. God damn, Paul.
Sounds about right. All right, guys. Just don't talk to my ex-wife. Anyway,
any closing statements today? We're up at an hour or two. We should probably get wrapping this one up. Okay. Closing statements from any of you gentlemen?
I don't know.
I love football season. It's fun. Gives us something to do.
Okay, I have a quick one. I wrote a book starting last February, and I don't know if you guys even care. You probably won't read it.
Well, no. Well, I won't read it, but what I will do is we'll promote it.
Okay, it's part of NAFCo as far as the arts.
How much? Yeah. Okay. Yes, exactly. You're being an artist. You're throwing stuff on, and well, then let's talk about it. You got a book. You got a product, dude. We should care. You should be able to talk about that shit.
I do. I got approved yesterday to start. Amazon's going to distribute it, and it's going to cost like $2 a book, and whatever. It's my first run at it.
You're self-publishing, but that's fine. Yeah. You got to start somewhere.
And it's called When the Lights Are Brightest, and it's about sports, and it's about history and things like that, and a lot about sports.
Okay, that's cool, man.
When you write a book, this is the world's best thing ever in the world to write a book. It's called The Bedford's Handbook for Writers. And people are a little short on English. This is fantastic if you ever want to try this thing. And I use this thing like, oh my God, every day. So, but I'm going through the title things. I'm going through the artwork. I'm going through all that stuff. And they say February it should be sort of released. So I appreciate if you guys will look at it, and I'll let you guys know then. So. All
right. Well, that will definitely be, especially throughout the season, provide updates.
Okay.
As we go on, because February, that's kind of the end of our season 3 here. It sounds like roughly at the end of season 3 here, it'll release. So, okay, well, that's kind of some news there for everybody there. So thanks for sharing that, Paul.
And we also have a tailgate party for the Pittsburgh game on the 9th of October.
True. Yeah, and we do have that. Yeah, I mean, we did mention that in the last episode, but I might as well bring it back up, really.
Yep.
Is our tailgate party. Man, this episode I came in pretty friggin' unprepared, didn't I? I mean, I just know I did. So next episode, everybody can be prepared for a little more quality in the episode as a whole. Do have...
Thank you, Michael.
Yes, thank you, Mom MediaWorks, for the graphical workings. All right, we don't have to play the Dolphins bit that we played last week. If you want to know what that is, watch last week. Anyway, what are you guys? Anything else for you, Jeff?
The good thing is we get to play you guys again.
Oh, this is the problem about being. This is just gonna be crappy when I have no faith in the Pats completely. This is the reason I don't have the sunglasses on. You took yours off, but that's just because you had to reconnect and everything. You had a whole big friggin' technical kerfuffle. But well, it's been, here's a keeping it real, New England. Thank God you got one win, but my God, they're not going to come easy this year. Oh man. Well, with that, I say adieu.
Go Fins, baby. Go Fins.
Oh, mama, I'm in fear for... Peace out.